Gabe Polsky's Red Army uses the story and lives of Soviet hockey players to examine the fall of communism and the continuing effects of communism on modern Russian society. By examining the Cold War era through a lens of hockey, it's easier to contemplate the difficulties that each individual faces and that caused the end of the Soviet Union, as well as explore the challenges that persist in modern Russia. This documentary reviews the life of Slava Fedosov and several of his teammates as they become huge hockey stars in the USSR under Viktor Tikhonov, expatriate to the United States to play hockey, and then later return to modern Russia and become leaders in the new republic, incorporating the communist ideals that were ingrained in them into the new government system. Red Army is an effective film for examination of communism and modern Russia. It is appropriate for all ages in that it limits visual violence and language. However, a younger generation of viewers may not understand the social commentary behind the film because of their lack of direct experience with the Cold War. I thoroughly enjoyed this film and would recommend it as a great documentary choice for anyone, and give it a 5 out of 5 stars in the documentary category.
Sit down and hook yourself up to a caffeine IV because you'll need it for Wim Wenders' postmodern Wings of Desire, featuring two angels who observe the war-torn city of Berlin in easy-to-look-at black and white, watching humanity and pondering the existence of mortals in the past, present, and future of the city. One angel falls in love with a human and struggles with the decision to give up his immortality for her. The use of black and white in this film is used to portray the sense of innocence that is lacking in mortal life. But it's the strongest element in this 175-minute film where the story itself is only led on by a series of never-ending questions, an overuse of the panning shot, and absolutely no plot. Remember that romance I mentioned? It's virtually non-existent until the end when the two characters decide, hey, I'm lonely, you're lonely, we should be lonely together. So, unless you are a cigar-smoking, existence-bemoaning, fedora-wearing, the Iceman cometh kind of individual, you will most likely not enjoy this film. I give this movie a rating of 1.5 stars.
From the well-known director Michael Mann comes a historical drama in the form of The Last of the Mohicans. Set here in the woods of 1757 New York, this film tells the adventure of Hawkeye, an orphan child of murdered colonials who was raised by the last remaining members of the Mohican tribe. The film is beautifully crafted and dazzles the audience with its cinematography, score, and individual performances. More importantly, though, the film serves as an insightful commentary on the human need to be understood. Daniel Day-Lewis's Hawkeye, along with his small band of friends, gives us a vessel with which to explore this world, and we learn with them as they slowly discover that this isn't a simple tale of good versus evil. Within the factions of French and British soldiers, warring Indian tribes, and mistreated colonists, we find confusion as each side and individuals seek to justify those violent responses to the conflict around them. While The Last of the Mohicans is certainly one of the better films you'll see, those who can't stomach the violence should stay away. However, if you don't mind the occasional smashing of skulls with a tomahawk, you won't regret taking time to watch this film. With that said, I give this film a solid 4.5 out of 5 stars.
The 1992 edition of James Fenimore Cooper's The Last of the Mohicans, directed by Michael Mann, plays a game of French and Indians that portrays a depth of emotion associated with the traumas and trials of war. Set in colonial America, this pre-revolution story is about an English native raised Indian who also gets in the middle of the French and Indian War against the English colonies. Mann uses the talents of Daniel Day-Lewis, Madeleine Stowe, Russell Means, and Wes Studi to deliver a moving story of love, anger, loss, and revenge. Mann uses close-ups of the actors' faces to convey their emotions in simple yet elegant ways. For instance, one can feel the weight of the character's feelings as when Alice, Jodie May, is standing at the edge of a cliff, contemplating whether or not to throw herself over so as to join her dead lover, or to submit herself to the clutches of the vengeful Indian Mugwai, aka Wes Studi, who killed him. I highly recommend this movie, especially to those who like high-stakes dramas, yet aren't squeamish at the sight of blood. I give this movie 4.5 stars due to the fantastic filming, but not a whole 5 stars because of some cheesy moments during the fight scenes.